great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us once again here on The Leading Edge. I'm your host, Jeff Smith. Coming up, after a visit from some friends overseas, we're diving into Toledo's continued Sister Cities program. We'll touch on a family favorite that is getting underway this week. But first, we have been living through what has been an unbelievable last few weeks with the political world on a bit of a roller coaster, a commitment to another 4 years, then an assassination attempt, a convention, a stepping aside, the passing of the torch, the questions circling on what just happened, how it happened, why it happened, in so many fronts, on so many fronts, and of course, a teaching moment that exists as well. I wanted to bring in University of Toledo professor in political science and public administrations, Dr. Sam Nelson. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. A friend of WTOL again and again, and especially over the last couple of weeks. Let's kind of dissect a little bit, Dr. Nelson. Is there another time in history you can remember on the political spectrum a cycle like what we have seen played out in the last month?
It's been a lot all in 1 month.
Yeah.
I think, you know, there was the 2016 campaign. We had the Access Hollywood tape, then the hacked emails from the Democratic National Committee the next day, and then the Comey letter. It was bang, 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 and that was October, right before the election. But even this is much more, I think, than that.
I mean, I was sitting at home, I was thinking to myself, going back in time, and I mean, you can go back through, I mean, you can go back to 2020 and the Hanging Chads, and I mean, more recent history. I mean, my goodness, we say more recent history, that's been over 20 years ago at this point. But I just wonder, I mean, there have been times of tumult in Washington before, and certainly times of uncertainty. But as you get a little closer to September and August and your classes coming into frame, is there a teaching moment there, and how do you kind of fashion this into that?
Well, you know, I really have missed my students this last couple of weeks. I wish we were in class. I would love to hear from them. I'm really looking forward to hearing what they have to say about what's been going on. But yeah, we build in because current events, we're trying to study how politics works, and current events are the examples that we use, that we can feed into. Here are the patterns. Here are the things that we've never seen before and that we can't really predict. Here are the questions that we want to ask. Here are the things we'd like to know so we can try to understand what's happening.
I always try to reference things to sports, and I think in terms of what we have seen play out, not only in the media, but things we're reporting, but you think of a tennis match. That was a good shot. Oh, that was a nice return serve. It seems like it's going back and forth and back and forth. You see that as well?
Well, certainly we saw this. I mean, the last couple of weeks were probably the best weeks Donald Trump could have imagined for his campaign. I mean, you wouldn't want an assassination attempt.
No, of course. And I think the viewers know that's not what you mean.
But it's an opportunity for his party to rally around him. And then your convention is always the high point in your campaign. You always come out of that convention, everybody is happy, enthusiastic, excited about the campaign. And here, Biden withdrew 2 days after the convention ended. It kind of stomped on the convention bounce that you would get.
Because it changed the news cycle?
Oh, yeah, it changed the news cycle. We're talking about Joe Biden withdrawing, and then we're talking about Kamala Harris lining up delegates, lining up the nomination for Democrats, and so that's what everybody's been really focused on.
How long do bumps last? How long should they last?
So a convention bump usually evaporates in a couple of weeks, usually until the next big news event or kind of hook for the campaign. And now, you know, before the events of just the last couple of weeks, we saw a really stable, kind of static race. Something would happen, it would move things a point one way or the other, and it would just kind of settle back into the status quo. What's going to be interesting to watch is, you know, end of August, beginning of September, do we settle back into the status quo from May and June, or are we in a new status quo, a very different kind of race?
But I guess my question, too, in talking about this bump is you talk about the Republican National Convention. You talk about President Biden stepping aside. You talk about Kamala Harris being, I don't want to say she has been, I think the word coronation has been used, but she's been tabbed as the heir apparent, right? Those bumps that exist. And then, of course, the DNC in just a couple of weeks. Do you expect another bump there?
I would expect it after the convention. You would get your convention bounce, and it's probably more than Joe Biden would have gotten because he's a known quantity. Everybody had formed an opinion about him. For a lot of people, Kamala Harris is a new face. I mean, she's been vice president, but you know, the vice president's usually pretty invisible. That convention is going to roll her out, introduce her to the country, really give her an opportunity to lay down the message for the campaign, for people to get to know her, her family, whoever she picks for vice president, all of that, and it generates a lot of enthusiasm.
I know they'll be asking this, and we precede a lot of the national shows that will come on Sunday, but do you think this is a done deal?
I do. It certainly looks like she's got most of the delegates pledged to her. Nobody has put themselves forward as another candidate, and if that doesn't happen by the end of the weekend, then there won't be a challenger.
And we should not expect the DNC, somebody to raise their hand and throw their hat in the ring.
No, it'll be too late then.
Yeah.
The rules that they've established make it clear that there's a deadline to get signatures from delegates to be in the mix.
Talk a little bit as far as the process that has played out. And there's been a lot of talk this week, and I don't know if history or your study would give you a better answer as to how this happened, because there's been a lot of talk about, you had 14 million voters who said they wanted Joe Biden as the candidate going forward, yet none of those 14 million had a voice in this. Do you subscribe to that? What is your take on it?
I think the question of Democratic legitimacy around this is a tough one. The voters, the 14 million voters, did vote for Kamala Harris as his backup, right? If you want to use a sports metaphor, she's the second string. So they were comfortable with that. The 81 million people who voted for that ticket in 2020 were comfortable with her as the backup. So I think that gives her some legitimacy. I think the huge outpouring of donations from rank and file voters, regular people that came in immediately, pretty good sign that the rank and file of the party, Democratic voters are behind her, and polling as well.
Was that money already there, you think? I mean, that was just a carryover from Biden, because it was a lot and it was fast.
There's two different pots. I think the money from the big donors, that was kind of sitting there, they were holding it. But that money that came in on Act Blue from people like my mom and, other people, that I think is new money. That's people who are newly enthused. There were a lot of new donors who had not donated in this cycle.
I remember in 1981 sitting at the babysitter's house. ABC News on President Reagan was coming out of the Washington Hotel. John Hinckley took the shots. We haven't seen anything play out like that. How do you handle this going into the fall, talking with students and the impact? We've talked about social media playing things over and over and over again, the violence that they see and how that affects mental health. But I see this as a moment as politics affecting mental health as well.
Yeah, I mean, politics can be very challenging. People are very invested in their parties and in candidates that they support kind of across the board, including third-party candidates. And it does affect people's lives, their everyday lives, in a lot of ways. We talked in the spring about the potential for political violence in this campaign. It's always been kind of lurking in the background.
Yeah.
But I think we didn't have a concrete example. But it is difficult to talk about, and you want to handle it kind of carefully.
Did you think it would get to that point? I mean, when you talked about it in the spring, obviously you don't think it's ever going to reach that level,
I didn't think,
right?
Not an assassination attempt on one of the candidates, but, somebody getting beat up at a rally or out in front of their house putting a sign up. That kind of thing wouldn't have surprised me, something like this. And of course, this attempt now doesn't look like it was particularly politically motivated from what we know, and maybe that'll change. But the atmosphere makes violence more likely when everybody's on tenterhooks. And
why do you say it wasn't politically motivated, even though he was searching out things on both campaigns?
Well, I think he was looking for, because he was searching both campaigns, I don't think it was motivated against the Republicans or against the Democrats. I think it was an opportunity where a bunch of people were collected in one place.
For Ohio voters going forward, what do you think are the policies that are going to stand out in November?
Well, certainly lots of people are concerned about immigration and talking about immigration, but a lot of people are talking about health care, and of course abortion rights is going to be huge. And I think with Harris becoming the candidate, that's going to kind of get elevated in a way that Biden wouldn't have brought it forward.
And obviously seeing what Ohio has voted on, especially on state mandates, that could play into factor as well.
Right.
Well, Doctor, I appreciate the time, the insight, as always, and obviously, if we have another couple of weeks like we've had this last month, it'll definitely be interesting.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it. We'll be back right after this.